Open Doors has released its 2020 World Watch List discussing the 50 countries where it's most dangerous to follow Jesus. Countries are ranked based on the severity of Christian persecution. If you're a Christian in the US and you think you've got it bad because some atheists on Twitter keep babbling about how you need a sky daddy, think again. Open Doors reports. In 2020, persecution against Christians is on the rise, increasing at an alarming rate. Research for the Open Doors 2020 World Watch List, the most in-depth investigative research and report on Christian persecution available, shows that today more than 260 million people face persecution for their faith, an increase of 15 million, the combined population of New York, California, and Chicago, in only 1 year. Every day, an average of 8 Christians were killed for their faith, and 23 Christians were raped or sexually harassed for faith-related reasons. Every week, an average of 182 churches or Christian buildings were attacked, and 102 Christian homes, shops, or businesses attacked, burned, or destroyed. Every month, an average of 309 Christians were unjustly imprisoned for their faith. Some of the disturbing trends. In the most populated countries on earth, Christians live in a surveillance state. The most populated countries are China and India. There are over 400 million surveillance cameras in China, and India is rolling out a national facial recognition system. Since China and India both rank pretty high on the World Watch List, we'll see how they use their technology upgrades. Violent Islamic extremism spikes in sub-Saharan Africa. There are Islamic terrorist groups in sub-Saharan Africa, groups like Boko Haram and Islamic State West African Province. Life is especially difficult for Christians in areas where there's little government control. In those areas, killers and kidnappers and rapists can often do whatever they want to Christian families because there's no one to stop them. Militant Islam spreads violence and fear in Southeast and South Asia. We're all familiar with the Easter Sunday attacks in Sri Lanka, where more than 200 Christians were slaughtered in the name of Allah. It was surprising to hear about such a large-scale terrorist attack in a place like Sri Lanka, but Islam is on the move in Southeast and South Asia. Christianity is on the verge of disappearing in Iraq and Syria. The number of Christians in Iraq dropped from around 1.5 million in 2003 to around 200,000 now. In Syria, there were around 2.2 million Christians before the Arab Spring. There are fewer than 750,000 now. Millions of Christians have fled these two countries in a single generation. If this continues, we may soon see, for the first time in nearly 2,000 years, no Christian presence in what are now Syria and Iraq. Of the 20 worst countries in the world to be a Christian, 15 are Muslim-majority countries. Sadly, all the wonderful people here in America and Europe who constantly assure us that Islam is a religion of peace and tolerance never bother to tell the Muslims who are in positions of power over Christians that Islam is a religion of peace and tolerance. Maybe in 2020, these amazing American and European experts on all things Islamic will get the word to Muslims in Muslim-majority countries that they're not supposed to be killing, assaulting, imprisoning, torturing, raping, and oppressing the Christians in their areas. Since deception spreads most easily in an atmosphere of ignorance, it's important to know what's going on in the world. With this in mind, over the next 10 days, apart from any other videos I'll be posting, we'll take a closer look at the top 10 worst countries in the world to be a Christian, one country per day. For these 10 days especially, those of you with first-hand knowledge of what's going on in various countries are invited to share your stories in the comments section. Tomorrow, at number 10, India.